There's no easy way to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. I've given this a lot of thought, and I've decided this is the end of StreetShootr. The channel isn't going anywhere, but the name StreetShootr is being retired. I'm just changing the name of the channel. Everybody relax. And I'm sorry for the clickbaity title, but now that you're here, let me tell you what's going on. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and the StreetShootr name just doesn't feel like it fits with the direction I see this channel going. So I'm changing the channel name to my own name, Karl Edwards. That's Karl with a K Edwards, but the channel name isn't Karl with a K Edwards, it's just Karl Edwards, but the Karl is spelt with a K. Okay, so why am I changing the name? Right off the bat, I want to say nothing is changing with the content of the channel, but I'm starting to feel limited by the street photography label. And don't get me wrong, I'm still passionate about street photography, but it's not the only aspect of photography that I want to talk about. Photography as a medium for self-expression is huge, and there are so many avenues that I want to explore. And I don't want people seeing the StreetShootr name and thinking that the channel is only about street photography, when it's really about all things photography, but told from my perspective as a street photographer. Here's an example. I'm 2 months into my film photography project, and I just posted a video that shows how I develop my own negatives at home. And that video has nothing to do with street photography, but it's an important part of my street photography workflow now that I've gone back to shooting film. And it's the kind of video that a lot of film photographers might be interested in, whether or not they shoot street photography. I mean, why pay crazy lab prices to develop your film when it's so easy to do it yourself? I'll put a link to the video up here if you want to have a look. It's kind of a good one, but it's just one example. It doesn't matter if I'm talking about developing or scanning or how many licks it takes to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop. These are all interesting subjects, but none of them are necessarily about street photography. So to avoid confusion, I'm changing the name of the channel to Karl Edwards, and I think it's the right thing to do. But you might be wondering, why do this now? Let me give you a little bit of history. I started my website, StreetShootr.com, way back in 2014 as a place to share my passion for street photography with news, reviews, and inspiration for street photographers from around the world. The YouTube channel was started a couple years later as a place to hold the video versions of the gear reviews I was doing for the websites. But as time went on, the YouTube channel became the primary focus of what I was doing, and the videos took on a life of their own outside of the connection to StreetShootr.com, so the name of the channel started to feel like a relic. Street photography is still going to be a huge part of what I do on the channel, but I think it's my unique point of view that makes these videos tick, so it makes sense to use my own name moving forward. And that's what I'm going to do. Starting now, the channel's just called Karl Edwards. That's Karl with a K Edwards, but the channel's not called Karl with a K Edwards, it's just called Karl Edwards, but Karl spelled with a K. Okay, before I go, I wanted to give you one quick note on Twitter and Instagram. The YouTube channel is now called Karl Edwards, but my Twitter and Instagram handles are a little different. I tried to get my own name on Twitter and Instagram way back in 2010, but I missed it by that much. And some other Karl Edwards has both of them. And he's super boring, but whatever. So I'm the Karl Edwards on Twitter and Instagram, as in, are you the Karl Edwards? Why, yes I am. Take that, other Karl Edwards. All right, that's it for this one. I just wanted to give you an update on the name change and let you know what was happening with the channel. I really appreciate you guys, and I want to thank you for your support. None of this would make any sense if you weren't watching on the other end of the internet. Drop a comment down below, even if it's just to say hi. I always love hearing from you guys. If you're not already subscribed, then hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up while you're at it. I'm trying to reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. I've got a ton of cool stuff coming up, and I'd hate for you to miss any of it. But for now, I guess I'm just Karl Edwards. I'll see you in the next one. That's all.